everyone, it's Sandy, and in this video I will be combining my summer TBR with a few of my anticipated summer book releases. Every year I always do a summer TBR, and I'm already like over a month into my summer and I still haven't filmed a summer TBR, so now I'm finally doing one. A lot of the books on my summer TBR are books that I already own because a lot of them have been sitting on my shelves for a very long time. Now that it's summer, I finally want to get to them. Starting off with the first book, I have You by Caroline Kepnes. This book follows a man named Joe who works in a bookstore, and one day this woman named Beck walks into the bookstore and he ends up stalking her. It sounds really creepy, and I've been in the mood for that lately, and I have a feeling that after reading this I will be super paranoid, but I'm still very excited to read it anyways. The next book on my TBR is You Know Me Well by David Levithan and Nina LaCour. This book is a new release. It came out on June 7th and I was able to get a copy of it at BEA. This book is told an alternating point of view following Mark and Kate. Mark and Kate have sat next to each other in class for an entire year, but they've never spoken to each other, and one day their paths cross outside of the classroom, and I have a feeling they become really close and help each other in some sort. From what I've read, this is a story about navigating the joys and heartaches of first love, and it also has diversity in it, which is amazing. This book is really short too, so I'm definitely going to fly through it. I'm very excited to read it. I know Tiernan from the Booktuber really loves it. The next two books that I really want to read is The Kiss of Deception and The Heart of Betrayal by Mary E. Pearson. I've already read The Kiss of Deception, but I haven't read the second book yet, and I know the third book is coming out in August, so I want to reread this book, catch up on this book, and then read the third book. And I know Mary E. Pearson is coming to the Chicago area for a book signing, so I'm hoping that I'm able to go. So I want to prepare myself by getting back into this world. In case you don't know what the first book is about, it follows a princess named Leah, and she is fleeing on her wedding day. She eventually makes her way to a distant village, but what she doesn't know is that she is being chased by two people. One is a prince that she was supposed to marry, and the second person is an assassin that was sent to kill her. And I'm sure most of you have heard, but neither Leah or the reader knows who the prince and who the assassin is, so it's kind of like a guessing game throughout the book. I really enjoyed the first book, and I really want to enjoy the sequel as well, so I want to reread the first book. Hopefully, I'm not a big rereader, but I really want to reread more books in the summer. The next book that I really want to read is The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. I am like on a Brandon Sanderson high right now because I just finished two Brandon Sanderson books, one being The Well of Ascension, which is the second book in Mistborn, and the second one being Calamity, which is the third book in the Reckoners trilogy. I am just like really loving Brandon Sanderson right now, and The Hero of Ages is the third book in Mistborn, and I know that there are more books that takes place in the Mistborn world. I'm not sure if I'll get to those in the summer, but I really want to finish the trilogy itself. So if you don't know what The Final Empire is about, it basically follows a 16-year-old girl named Vin. Vin discovers that she is a Mistborn, which means she has the ability to control all 8 metallic powers, and she is recruited into a group to overthrow the Final Empire. I do have a review on the first book, so if you're interested in hearing more about the book and hearing more of my thoughts, I will leave a link down below. The next book that I want to read in the summer is End of Days by Susan E. This is the third book in Penryn and the End of Days trilogy. Angel Fall is the first book, and this is basically an angel apocalypse story. I still haven't read the third book, so I'm hoping to finally read it in the summer. I'm not sure if I'm going to reread the first two, but hopefully. I mean, these books are pretty short. The next book on my TBR is Sleeping Tom by Evie Fairfall. I was sent this book by the author, who also happens to have a booktube channel. Her channel is called Booktube Couple. I will leave a link down below. This book follows Kaden, who is hitchhiking, and she accepts a ride from a man named Gabriel, who is her age and is very attractive, but he turns out to be a complete jerk. Kaden has nowhere to go, so she convinces Gabriel to let her stay over at his place for the night. And from the summary of this book, it seems to have to do with dissociative identity disorder, aka multiple personality disorder, because when it's nighttime, Gabriel is suddenly very sweet and kind, and he goes by the name Tom. I've never read a book like that before, so I'm very interested to see how it plays out. The next two books are books that I really want to reread, and the first one is City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, and the second one is Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead. These two series are some of my favorites, and it's been over 2 years since I first read them, and it's time for me to finally reread them. And the last book on my TBR is Summer Days and Summer Nights, edited by Stephanie Perkins. This book includes 12 short stories that were written by 12 different authors, and they all take place in the summer, so it'll be a perfect summer read. Now we're going to get into my anticipated summer book releases. I have 4 books that I want to mention, and these 4 books are also books that I plan on reading during the summer. The first book is The Darkest Magic by Morgan Rhodes. This is the second book in a Book of Spirits and Thieves, which is a spin-off series of Fallen Kingdoms. Fallen Kingdoms is one of my favorite fantasy series, so I'm very excited for the second book in the spin-off series. This book comes out on June 28th. The next book that I'm super excited about is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. This book comes out on August 2nd, and I have no idea what it's about, and I plan to keep it that way because I always like going to Colleen Hoover books not knowing what it's about. But knowing that it's Colleen Hoover, I'm expecting a really good romance and some heartbreak. Also, the cover is beautiful. I think that's my favorite cover out of all Colleen Hoover's books. And Colleen Hoover has pretty nice covers considering that she's a new adult author. I feel like a lot of new adult books don't have that great of a cover, but Colleen Hoover does, and I love that because she's one of my favorite new adult authors. The next two books are books that I was able to get an ARC of at BEA, and I'm so happy about that. And the first one is Furthermore by Tahira Mafi. This is her new middle grade book, and it follows our main character named Alice, who I believe is colorless, and she lives in a colorful world, and she goes on an adventure along with this boy named Oliver to find her missing father. There's also magic in this book, and I love it when books have magic in it because I love learning about magic systems. And my last anticipated summer book release is A Torch Against the Night by Saba Tahir. This is the second book in An Ember in the Ashes. The first book follows Laya and Elias. Laya is a slave and Elias is a soldier. Laya's brother is arrested, and in order to save him, she has to become a spy in a military academy, which is the academy that Elias is a soldier in. I love the first book, and I'm very excited to see what happens next. Those are all of the books on my summer TBR and the books that I'm anticipating in the summer. I may have missed a book or two for anticipated summer releases, but these are like the top books that I could immediately think of. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what book you're planning on reading in the summer or a book that you're really anticipating, and I will see you next time. Bye! I should have probably peed before filming this video, but now I'm too lazy to get up. Story of my life. This book is told in what? This book is told in I can't say that word.